If you like this video, why not subscribe?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the weekly recap Q&A. That's the show where I sit in my car and answer questions and comments from the previous week, as well as share links down below in the comments in the description. If you're wondering why I'm sitting in my car, it's because the acoustics are good and it's easy to use my on-camera mics and not sound horrible like it typically would. Plus it's a portable studio. I can get out of my apartment and do this show anywhere. So that's what I'm doing. Last week we talked about which editor do you use, which video editor. Everyone shared their opinions. I guess there's really only a handful of editors, but people shared a lot. Check the comments on that if you want to see what different people are using. One thing somebody brought up, which I didn't really mention or haven't looked into too much, is the Lightworks editor, which is free. It's supposed to be pretty powerful, but I have no idea how to use it. I've tried to use it and it's not super intuitive, so maybe some tutorials, if somebody has any of those, they could share those in the comments section, because it looks pretty powerful. And I guess if you want to even get the pro features, it's only $60 total, so that's pretty good. Maybe I should look into that. But I've been using Vegas for so long, I'm kind of set in my ways. T-shirt update. The T-shirts are actually in. Everybody's been getting them in the mail. The white version, I'm wearing it, but you probably can't even see it because the shot here is so tight. You might also notice because I'm wearing a white T-shirt next to a white fence, everything's kind of blending in. That's why I don't wear white on camera, but I did anyway. Okay, I'll have to work on that. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about anyway. The white T-shirts are in. If you haven't gotten yours, you should at any moment. Maybe the overseas viewers will just be getting theirs this week. Not sure about that, how long that takes. And also, if you're interested in a black T-shirt, we do have those, although they're not featuring this logo. If there's enough demand for that, we'll definitely offer that. It's a different logo this time. The stretching dollar logo is what I call it. I'll leave a link below if you're interested in a black shirt, because I definitely have ordered one. I want to wear one of those. A lot of people pointed out how, lots of crew members tend to wear black on set, and a black T-shirt is better for that, opposed to a very reflective white T-shirt. So look for that. Check out the logo. I like it, and there's lots of other great stuff coming as far as merchandise goes. So hopefully that'll start unraveling quickly. Let's go right to the questions. The first one is a comment posted by JV5268 on YouTube. It was from the tip episode, Film Review Sites I Recommend, from last week. And JV asks, have you ever thought of being a movie critic? And that's an interesting question, because one reason I got into filmmaking was because of two movie critics. Siskel and Ebert, Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert did a show called Sneak Previews, originally on PBS way back in the late 70s, which then evolved to At the Movies, and then Siskel and Ebert at the Movies, Siskel and Ebert and the Movies. But I started watching that PBS show because they featured film clips, and I wanted to see, what movies were coming out. I loved movies like any kid, and so I started watching it for the film clips, and I started, as I got a little older, I started listening to what they were actually saying, and so that's one reason I got into it, into filmmaking, and became really interested in it. And I did have an opportunity, that was a few years ago, where I was actually a film critic for an online magazine called The Nettle, and I've actually got all those reviews. I did that for a couple of years, actually, even though I didn't do it a lot. I did it about twice a month, 2 movies a month, which I thought was really good, because I could pick the movies I wanted to review. I didn't have to watch every single movie. Which probably would mean I wouldn't be a very good film critic, because I didn't want to have to write reviews that often. But I've archived all those reviews. If you're interested, in the description below, you can check out the reviews that I wrote over a couple of years. I think there's like 50 reviews or something. But as far as doing it full time or going back to doing it, I don't think I would like to, just because it was hard. Writing was difficult. It was hard. Just being on a deadline and just writing 1 or 2 reviews a month was pretty challenging. I think I enjoy this a lot more, so I think I'll stick with this. But I did do it shortly, and it was a good experience. I liked it. It made me definitely expanded my understanding of movies. All right, next up we have The End Entertainment. Made a comment on the recap Q&A last week, which editor and why. And they ask, are you going to do a special 100th video? I notice you're getting real close. Well, this is the 100th video that I've uploaded to YouTube. And I wish I would have had a little more foresight, and I would have planned better and maybe done something really cool for the 100th video, but I didn't. I'm sorry you're getting a recap show, which is probably one of the least popular formats that I use, or videos that I do. But And that's one thing I want to get back to or move toward is instead of doing like a lot of test footage videos like I typically do for the DIY stuff I make, is to make more movies. I just need to get back to making more movies. I haven't made a lot of movies since I've been doing this because I've been doing this. I definitely want to move back toward featuring more short films, which puts a lot of the DIY stuff into practice, a lot of the techniques into practice, because I can still talk about the techniques and the DIY stuff if I have movies that I've made using those things. So there's no reason I shouldn't be doing that. I've said this before, I sometimes feel more like a reporter than a filmmaker. But thank you for the question and definitely the motivation, because that's something I want to change in the future, maybe over this next year, is to just make more shorts, make more narratives. That's what I like doing the most anyway, even though they get the most criticism. Okay, Neckbreaker B sent me a message. He says, "Hi Scott, I've downloaded CamStudio, but on the few test runs I've done, the resolution is pretty low. I noticed your Vegas tutorials look really good. Can you recommend settings to maximize resolution? Thanks, Joe." Well, Joe, we've kind of gone over this already. I sent you a message or a comment. I sent you a message through YouTube about this, but I want to share it with everybody, because if you ever want to do screen captures, you really only have a few options. One of them is CamStudio, which is really slick and cool and nice, but it's $300. I mean, Camtasia is $300. CamStudio is free. It's an open source screen capture utility, and so that's what I use. Even though it's not as nice as Camtasia because it's an open source, people contributing program versus a professional program. But I like it. It does the job. It's not, as good, but it's good for the price. Great for the price. So what I've done is the first thing I did was I downloaded the Lagarith Lossless Codec. That's the codec I used in the smooth slow motion episode that I did. I'll provide a link to the Lagarith Lossless Codec below. I'm not sure if that's the best codec, but it works well for me. And you can access that through CamStudio. If you go into options and then video options, you can pick that as the compressor and then just max out the quality. There's a quality slider. Just max it out and make sure, there's a box down below also that's like, it's an auto box. It adjusts everything else. So make sure that's checked. I think the default is that it is checked. So just make sure that quality slider is maxed out, and that's all I do. I don't do anything fancy other than that. So check out CamStudio. I'll leave a link to that as well as the codec, the Lagarith Lossless Codec down in the description. Okay, Yusha Stokes made a comment on Frugal Crane 2.0. He says, "I have a hypothetical question for you. If you actually had a Hollywood budget, would you still use your designs or modify them for larger cameras in place of their pro counterparts? For example, Frugal Rig instead of a Fig Rig, Frugal Floater instead of a Steadicam, and so on. Which designs would you use or not use if you had a big Hollywood budget, and why?" Well, this is a really good question. I think 90% of the stuff, if I had a budget, I would definitely go with the Pro version, and I would probably get a Pro operator as well. For example, DIY Steadicams are great, but they're super tricky. Even though the inexpensive ones, the $100 to $200 ones are pretty touchy. I would definitely, if I had the money, spend the money to rent a full-blown Steadicam rig with an operator who's been doing it for 20 years, because they'll hit their shots every take, and that's what you want, especially if you have money to spend. You don't want to be, burning time, especially if you're paying somebody, a full rate to run a rig like that. And that would be true with probably, like I said, 90% of the gear. If I had a crane, I would definitely go with the Pro crane and somebody who knows how to use it, or a jib and someone who knows how to use it. I think that's the key thing, is to get the operator as well as someone with a lot of experience with that specific piece of gear. And the only thing I think I wouldn't necessarily get if I had the money is the Fig Rig, because that really doesn't change much. Just the, Fig Rig is the $300 steering wheel with the camera in the middle. But the Frugal Rig, as you call it, or the PVC stabilizer, it runs on the exact same principle, and it's much less expensive. And if I damage it, it costs nothing to fix. I'll just replace it, for $5 to $10, opposed to $300. So, but everything else, I think it's pretty safe. I mean, the slider, the crane, almost everything that I've built, boom pole, stuff like that, would all be serviced with not only with the Pro version of the equipment, but with a professional operator who knows what they're doing and will get you much better results than, say, if I was having to run it, or if I, grab someone to run it. Even if they have, a little bit of experience doing it, you'll get an immense amount of better experience and better results if you're using a professional who knows what they're doing, who's familiar with that piece of gear. So that's what I would say. The only thing I wouldn't say that on is the fig rig, because that's, like I said, not hard to master. Although I imagine, if you had someone who did that all the time and did it professionally, your results would be better. That's just the way it goes. So that's all the questions I had today. The question this week, as you're seeing above, is the same thing. What pro gear would you use if you had the money? What would be maybe the first thing you would buy? If you had that kind of money, what would you get? A Hollywood budget, which could be huge. So that's the question. If you have a question for me, email me at thefrugalfilmmaker@gmail.com, or you can comment, below. You can get a hold of me in any number of ways. The Facebook group is another way. Be sure to check out the blog, thefrugalfilmmaker.com. There's the Facebook group. Search for it on Facebook, The Frugal Filmmaker, and you'll find a huge community, huge active community where people will give you advice and suggestions and critique your videos if you upload them. And it's just a fantastic forum, very active forum. People very friendly and willing to help you out if you have a question. There's Twitter. I'm on Twitter, which is @Frugal Filmmaker. And then there's the YouTube channel. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you're shooting a movie this week or doing anything, good luck with that. And we'll see you next Monday. Bye.